Hey, what's happening, guys? So, today I thought I'd show you, because there's a lot of misinformation on the internet, how to successfully hook up PS Vita to your Elgato capture device, or pretty much most compatible in this way video capture cards or external capture cards or whatever. So the PS Vita TV. So Sony's little attempt at getting the PS Vita to everyone's homes yet again. It's a good device. I might do a review on it someday, but thought I'd just clear up some confusion here. So first off, let's start off with this. So a lot of people are, believe it or not, they're confusing the devices that we need to even do all this. So this is an HDMI switcher. This is a splitter. Now, most of you probably know what this is. Back in the day, when we only had like one or two inputs on our TV, we needed to buy like, even actually now with monitors, we needed to buy these because, you know, we only had like one composite output. This is way back in the day, and basically we'd have to, every time we wanted to switch out our game consoles or VCR or DVD players, we'd have to go behind the damn thing and manually take the cords out and then put the other ones in that we wanted to use. Then they developed these things for, you know, so we didn't have to go behind it, but we did have to sometimes go to the box and actually switch it over, which was a little bit easier. But now we have these boxes that automatically switch whenever they detect a power source or power signal. So, you know, when you plug in an HDMI cable that's dead, it's not gonna, even if this thing was powered by another, like let's say it's coming, like let's say I had my PC right here right now and it was already powered on, it wouldn't switch to this new plug that I'm putting in. It has to have some power. So if it did, then it would go jump to this one and I wouldn't have to mess around with it. So whenever I turn something on that's a new source, it would switch to that. So that was nice and convenient. Although you can't get remotes for these things. So yeah, this one in particular takes 3 inputs and it goes to 1 output. Alright, very simple. You guys pretty much know what this is. This, on the other hand, is a little different. This is how we're going to get our signal to... This is basically how we're going to be able to record with the Elgato. I'm not sure about other capture cards, but this is what I know with the Elgato. I'm sure this will work with some other ones, but sometimes the splitters can vary. This is exactly what I use. That's it. So, you know, if something's not working and if it's not exact, I can't exactly help you. So I'm using the Elgato HD60, and I'm using it with this HDMI 1:2 splitter. Now splitters are pretty much like this, but in reverse. So instead of taking multiple inputs, we're taking one input and converting them into multiple outputs. In this case, just 2. So in this case, sorry, I should back up a bit. What these splitters are usually used for is to display 2 signals from 1 signal, and this can... There's some debate on whether it degrades the quality or not. I haven't noticed too much, but with digital, it's pretty much you either see the picture or you don't. With analog, it was a lot different back in the day, where, you know, certain cables and, you know, your switcher, quality of the cables, it can all really depend on how good the signal comes out. Digital is digital now. It's either you're going to see the picture or you're not, which is why you never should overspend for an HDMI cable. They're all the same. A $5 one is pretty much going to be the same as a $50 one, with the exception, depending on how the $50 one is built. So, better braided cables or whatever. It's really just and aesthetics. So it's really just quality of the parts inside. It's not going to affect signal quality whatsoever. Done with that. Do not buy expensive HDMI cables. You can get $5 ones from off Amazon. That's all you need. Thanks, Best Buy, for convincing people that. Convincing people otherwise that you need to pay $60 for a decent HDMI cable. Anyway, so splitter. So these can be used to display, like, say you want to have, like, you know, you have 2 TVs in one room, and I don't know, you want to have like a one show or whatever, just like displaying out to multiples, or you want to have. I don't know really what you would do, but there are many ways. There's also solutions. These are also good solutions for. Other capture cards that don't have pass-through, like the Stream UCAP 3, which is actually a pretty bad capture card. It does USB 3.0, and you view footage off your display screen. The problem is that there is some input lag. Of course, the card does have some noticeable. When it's, you know, outputting the footage, it doesn't look like that. It doesn't look very good. It has some artifacting. You can see a lot of pixels in certain areas, and then it's clear at one point, and then it's very pixely on another. Not very good capture card, but that's besides the point. So this would be a solution for people who want to get rid of the input lag part, so they don't have to use it through USB 3. So they can still have it go through see it through regular HDMI on their display. It just goes right through there. So so in that situation, you would have the extreme cap. You have the device wherever you're recording through go through here, and then you would have one go through the extreme cap for recording, and the other going to your display for your viewing. Less input lag than USB 3.0. Anyway, so this thing is going to be taking a PS Vita TV signal through here, and then it's going to be outputting to a display here, and then the Elgato here. Now the thing is with this, and a lot of people are getting confused how to use this. So what happens is, you need to have both of these connections working at the same time in order to activate the HDCP stripper. Now, the HDCP stripper is not some amazing stripper at your local Hooters, no. The HDCP stripper is a copy protection used in the PS3, PS Vita TV, and PS4. It can be turned off in the PS4 if you disable certain media settings. Now, this is going a little bit off topic here, but I want to just point out that Sony said, we're going to be a game, like, we're going to be the head of the game, we're going to be just for the gamers, and then they keep in the software that stops people from recording their gameplay footage, and it's mainly they put it in there so that media companies can safely, let Sony use, make apps for, or have them make apps for the system. So long story short, like, let's say you want to view some Crunchyroll, watch some anime. There's an HDCP thing on this and the PS3 and the PS4 that disable it, that will not allow you to record with Elgato. So let's say you want to rip some Crunchyroll, which, it is kind of, it's pretty immoral, and it is copying stuff off there, so it's kind of illegal if you upload that too, but that's, again, moving on. So they add that in there, so, every time it's like, hey, we're detecting that you're recording something. You're recording Crunchyroll footage, aren't you? You're going to rip this to Pirate Bay, and, or you're going to make DVDs, you're going to sell those? Well, too bad. We're going to enable HDCP to stop that. Now with a PS4, if you can disable it, and you can record normally, as far as I'm aware, someone correct me if I'm wrong, but you will not have access to your media functionality. Again, that's really stupid, because I thought this system was supposed to be for the gamers, and instead Sony's bending over to these multimedia streaming companies. But anyway, so that's cool with the PS4 that you can turn it off, allegedly, from what I hear. The bad news is, with the PS3 and the PS Vita TV, there is no option to turn it off. So what you use is one of these. These split the signal, like I said earlier, so that it will, like, scramble the signal and you'll record it. Now, what you need to do, you need to have this plugged in and then plugged into the input, right? Okay, so once it's in the input, let's actually just demonstrate that. You're going to need to have both of these connected to other devices, so it will scramble that signal. So this is going to, now here's the thing, you're going to need two devices that will have some kind of power effect. Remember what I said with this, it wouldn't switch unless it was some kind of power was going through this thing, right? Same thing with this, you can't have just one cable hanging out and then one going to your Elgato that goes to your monitor. That doesn't work. You need to have the Elgato, well, this is what I do, because I only have one display with one port. So I have this side going out to the Elgato, but the Elgato is not plugged into the monitor, because, again, I have limited ports. So what I do is this one will then be plugged into here, and it will display the signal there, so I'm viewing the signal from this thing and not from this thing to the Elgato to the monitor. So that's how I deal with only having one port situation. The Elgato just kind of sits there without being plugged into anything. Again, it's going through USB to my other monitor, or to my computer, which is displaying to my other monitor, and, I can look up the preview footage just fine. There's no problem. Now, one thing I need to say now, and again, I actually just, you're seeing a reflection of this is how I'm actually viewing it, but with the Elgato right here, something I need to mention is that when I initially did this, I wasn't getting any display signal. So I tried putting it out and then unplugging it, and then I plugged it back in, and then I could get a display signal, but nothing was really capturing. I would click the button, but the timer wouldn't start. There's another thing. A lot of people are saying you need an older version of Elgato. You don't, as far as I know. This is, I'll just have it on the screen here. whatever version this is. Yeah, 2.11.43.962. I'll blow that up in case you need to see that, but basically the bottom line is you don't need to downgrade your Elgato software. I have it on PS4 just in case. But really what you need to do, if you're not seeing anything, unplug the thing, plug it back in. If that doesn't work, switch the HDMI ports. I'm not sure exactly which one it is. It shouldn't matter as far as I know, but just switch them around if it does, and you should be fine. Okay, so that's actually pretty much it. Really, a lot of people, I had the same problem, and I really just closed down the software. Remember to close down, don't just unplug it. Close down the software, unplug the USB cable from your computer, plug it back in, and you should get some kind of signal. And if it's still having that problem where it's not capturing, try switching the ports around, try fiddling, try removing this out of the solution if possible. And remember, if both of these lights need to be on, you'll know that the Elgato is splitting the signal when both of these lights are on, and that's how you pretty much get it to work with the Vita TV. Alright guys, that's pretty much it. I'll have like a screenshot here where you can see exactly just like how it all kind of looks when it's all hooked up. Alright, I'll see you guys next time. I'm out.